Hello there, digital peeps at YouTube's your favorite digital peep on the planet, mkgtweety. How are we today? I'm gonna do a little family update today. I tried making this once before, but I got interrupted, so I had to start all over. I tend to be first take, one take kind of a person, so. Anyway, on my PC, if you notice on the thumbnail and myself, you'll see how red I am. So just kind of bear with me. That's my little chickenpox scar. I got chickenpox in like 91. I have 43 now, so uh, and some people can get it again, but I got mine a few years before they made the vaccine, which came out in 95, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And I have my little superhero mask of red, and it's just, it's a dry skin, and when it just creates these red patches, and it just, don't worry, we're putting things on a topical way. So you can see blinded by the light. So I'm using my head to kind of shield that for you. If you've been following me on my Instagram, that's more of my day-to-day updates. It's like my second channel in a way. So if you want to follow me at Instagram, it is at mkgtweety. All my socials are listed in the description box below. If you like what you see and what I do, you can hit the subscribe button. Really, really, really helps. And if you really, 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 really like it, hit the thumbs up button. So there you go. Now we have to talk about a huge change that has happened to mkgtweety. I go by mkgtweety for privacy reasons, my screen name. That's just how I choose to be online. Now, when I'm, say, like, ordering something online, like at a store or Amazon, the actual name gets used. So I do have a girly name. Actually, my name is unisex. It could be for a boy or a girl. I actually follow somebody on YouTube and who and Instagram who actually has my name, but more the boys' way. So there you go. I had to get a new Threads account. Now, if you saw, we had to physically change the Threads name. What had happened was, they said, well, we have to verify who you are and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like pissy and moody about it. And after and then, once I had verified who I was, and Wisconsin said, okay, you're great. The next thing you know, they think I was a bot, and they deactivated my account right away. And I was quite pissed and moany and moody and all these, it's like, you don't need this now kind of thing. And so I got a new Instagram account, because I had to get a new Instagram, which is at mkgtweety, but don't use that. Use the mkgtweety account, because that's my main account. That's like the secret account that, for my threads and all that kind of stuff. And then when I got in the new threads, I was able to use my mkgtweety name. So it's threads.com/@mkgtweety. If you want to follow me on, like I said, my socials are linked in the description box below. I have a Pinterest, Tumblr, Wattpad. I have Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I have Blue Sky. They're all under the moniker mkgtweety. My threads and my YouTube are at mkgtweety. So there you go. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. So when you go and want to see my threads, that's what had to happen. So that was something that happened very recently that I needed to talk about. I even made a video about it on my Instagram. So there you go. Let's kind of move in here a little bit. Sitting on a piano bench, so in my bathroom, and we're filming in my bathroom today because it is a lot quieter. And all kinds of, it's echoey. Please forgive me. That's just the way my bathroom is. Some bathrooms are like that, so please forgive me. And all that. So, we'll start with, who should we start with first? Now, let me give you, I'm going to give you a little bit of what's been going on with me. So, if you want to do that, you can. Just bear with me. So, we followed around my favorite singer on the whole entire world, Travis, on her European tour. That was April the 8th through May 30th. So she just finished that. We're on a month-long break while all the equipment takes 6 weeks for all the equipment to come over here to the States. And then on July 7th, the rest of July, all of August, and the first week in September is going to be her U.S. tour. And then after that, I know she said she's going to work on a prequel to her children's book, to her Tori and the Muses book. And there'll possibly be new music with that because, as you know, in February, she got Grammy nominated for her children's album, for the music of Tori and the Muses. It didn't win, though. We got butthurt about it, but that's okay. Because she's been a veteran, almost 40 years in this business. And you figure, okay, girlfriend's going to get her dues paid. We're going to see, just pretend it's my Grammy Awards, shaver, but, thank you, Recording Academy. Yes, you love me, all that kind of stuff. And it didn't happen. This record named Harmony got released. It's a father-daughter duo. The father's black, and so is the daughter. And I believe she's one of the youngest people to actually get a Grammy. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. She had to have been like 8, 9 years old, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But she was a little girl and did this. And we watched on how they show all the Grammys, the ones that, all the categories that they don't show on TV. And I was able to watch that online. And hers was like one of the last, almost one of the last categories to get nominated. So, like, I sat there for almost like 2, 3 hours. I'm like, come on, come on. Just, So, um, but I wish she would have won one because she deserved it. She worked really hard on it. And a special thing about the audiobook is that that also got made in the studio where she makes all her albums since '98. So, if you want to follow her studio, it is Martian AV or Martian underscore AV on Instagram. And her daughter is also on Instagram and TikTok. No, if you go in the search bar of Instagram, it's NATASHYAHAWLEY. We actually have a senator with that last name, first name Josh. So if that last name is not familiar to you, that's why you've heard that. And then her handle on TikTok is the same thing as her Instagram, except after her first name, there's a period and then her last name. But it's all like one word, small letters. So she just graduated law school, so we're all celebrating that. Excuse me. Law school in DC. So you can go congratulate her on a post that she made a while back. So yeah. So anyway, so I was following along with her on tour, my favorite singer, whole entire world. Actually, on my birthday, it was 30 years since we've loved this woman. So there you go. It's the anniversary when I discovered her. It's the anniversary when I got my first CD, Little Earthquakes. So there you go. I had a childhood best friend who was my neighbor. He was a boy. He was a year older than I was. Who said, listen to this bitch, basically. And I fell in love. And here we are 30 years later, still loving the heck out of this woman. New album, In Time's Dragon, is not out. So if you want to go, St. Teresa, that whole album just, But, anyway. So, I went to the doctor's in April, my yearly. And BP is still slightly elevated. The bottom number is still about 90. And so she put me on a BP med. It also has a water pill in it. Now, water pill, you're probably thinking, well, you're peeing every 30 minutes kind of thing. My mom's was on a water pill for her because I have slightly retaining fluid. I'm not like balloony, but like when it's like 92 degrees out, my foot will balloon. But it goes down real quick. My mom has more balloony feet, and so does my dad. So, could be genetics why I have it. And it's not that I'm peeing, like more often. It's like instead of peeing like a cup of liquid, I might be peeing 2 cups of liquid, basically. So that's the first change. We got to the meds. And then we got blood work done because we had to get our blood work done. So this was May 21st, 22nd. Because the 21st, I had my mammogram done, which I am cleared of cancer. I have dense breasts, and sometimes dense breasts can be hard to detect things. But you just want to keep that in mind while I just got my results today for my mammogram. I'm virtually clear. I have no family history of that kind of cancer in my family. I have big boobs. Yes. My mother is a large. My nana was large. My mom's mother. My mom's baby sister. My Aunt Jean is large. So I like what we call Hoffman boobs because that was the name, my mom's maiden name before she got my dad's name, which is my last name, which I will not give out. So could be genetics why I have nice tatas, if you will. Anyway, so I'm clear of the Manny stuff. And it was very easy to schedule it online and have it done. I had to script. And then I had to have a fasting blood test, which means you fast for 12 hours. You have a blood draw, and then you can eat. My dad just had one done, was on Monday. Today is June the 9th, 2026 at 2:49 p.m. is when I'm filming this because everyone's sleeping, so I'm having a quiet moment when I can film. My dad he has one like every 3-4 months, and they check his A1C and all this kind of stuff. Now, when I had mine done, I try to keep my sugars because I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes like 2 years ago. So I try to keep my sugars under 180 as best as possible. But my sugars have been creeping up. It was 211 resting, and that's not good. It's not good at all. You have to be 180 or below. And so now I take my 500 milligram metformin slow release because I get explosive kind of number 2 at times. When I was on the 500, I was doing fine, doing well. Then I got placed on 1,000 milligrams. And when that was happening, the first pill was okay. But when I would take the second pill, a little explosive in the back. You know what I mean? So, when about 2-3 hours after I would eat. So that's when we got the slow releasing stuff. And now, because my blood sugar is still high, and about 4 to 6 months after I have another blood test, that's for me not exercising enough because I was following someone around on tour. It was just just trying to, because when you're on Europe side, they're 5, 6, 7 hours ahead. And it's just everything takes place at you know, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, my time. And so when she comes over to the States, it'll be 8, 9, 10, 11 my time. So I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, so you had to be, up and ready and all this kind of stuff. So anyway. And so now I have to take 500 milligrams of metformin every day. So that's 4 pills daily, including my little Lipitor pill for my cholesterol. My all the other numbers was fine. It's just, And I'm kind of mad at myself for that, but don't worry. We're trying to get back to exercising, so I have lower numbers, better numbers, all this kind of stuff. So, and I talked about it on my Instagram recently, so you can go find that recent video, and don't know why. I'm okay, whatever. I ordered some stuff from Amazon, so if you want to see that, you can go when I make my video for Instagram. You'll be able to see it. So I always post everything. Recently got from Walmart Uno Golf, which is where you have to get the lowest score possible because in golf you have to have the lowest score, and whoever has the lowest score wins. So if somebody has 72, but then somebody has 52, well, the 52 person would win because that's the lower score than 70, whatever. But anyway, um, stuff. So, let's see what else about me. Um, well, that's the only like major stuff. It's just I'm kind of mad and sad at myself because I let myself get that way. But we just have to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and we start all over again. I know diabetes is kind of hard to treat. I've been trying to schedule this diabetic eye appointment because the blood sugars can affect your eyes, and you can go blind, you can lose eyes, all that kind of stuff. And this to schedule this has just been a effing nightmare. Which should take less than like 5 minutes on the phone has taken like a 4 day epic journey. Which I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just, mm. So it's just, I started last week. And then they said, okay, well, they gave me it on my aftercare papers when I saw the doctor, but they didn't give me a script for it. So I had to wait a day for them to call my doctor's office because me and my mom have the same primary care physician, PCP. And then the next day I called and they said, okay, it's in there. Now I'm trying to schedule this. And they said, oh, the office is going to call you back because we're having a hard time scheduling it on our PC. And then I called this morning or Monday and same thing's going on. And it's just like, okay, but I'll let you know if I got it scheduled. I'll make a little update because it's like about a 20-minute procedure that doesn't take too long. So there you go. So, and I'm just like, because when the woman was trying to get it into her PC, her screen went black and she couldn't get it up again. And then she had to like, we put everything back in there. And she's like, this is the first time I'm scheduling something like this. And I'm like, I have scheduled this 2 other times. I've been to this office where you have it done at 2 other times. This is my third time coming in. I've never had this much trouble scheduling it the last 2 times I've done this time. But don't worry, everything's fine. Just don't worry, we'll get it scheduled. I'll make a little update on how it went and everything in the description box. So there you go. Things we're gonna do for the channel. We are going to now. I have a series coming out. Today's game series, 6 part 7 if you count the game board video. But I have a 6 part dice game series, 6 dice games. I'm gonna show you how to play. I made this back in like 2023, but when and it's just like, why are you posting it now? And it should be, well, because I was making the thingies back then and trying to figure out a way to like, been racking my brain to try and figure out how to post everything. But through Copilot, through Google, we have figured out a way to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post the first video, which is how to play a game called Beetle. And the first person to complete their Beetle is the winner. And you have to do it in order. So there's like body, head, antennae, legs, eyeballs, whole yards, right? And it's a great game for preschoolers because they're learning how to do things in specific order and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me, little peeps. Oh, excuse me. So, and then right after when I had made all the videos, excuse me, I need to blow my nose. Okay. Oh, I am so sorry, little peeps. It's like, what is going on with me? Sometimes you have to cough, blow your nose, sneeze all at the same time. After I had made the initial series, I thought, well, okay, maybe I should make game boards. I should at least include a couple of the game boards that are used for these games. And I made a video explaining all the game boards that I made, what games I made them for, and where am I going to put them at. And I thought, well, okay, I'll do PDF. I found PDF just a little too, a little hard in my field. So I'm like, well, okay, I got a Google Drive. People post things from their Google Drive all the time. So I got a Google Drive and I show you how to print them out in the video and I show you how to laminate them. Lamination sheets, it's like real hard on the front side and then on the back side is real thin and you just done, lamination. And they can be used as dry erase boards because one of the games in there was called Dueling Dice. You need like a dry erase thing, to keep the scores and stuff. And then there's one called Curly and Moe, named after the comedy slapstick trio that is very iconic. Like, these guys invented the genre of slapstick, if you know what I mean. So, yes, there is a game called that. It's a nice game. Very easy to play. There's a game called Wipeout in there. There's a game called Planet. We have, like, all this stuff, right? And, um, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the first video, which is Beetle. Then I'm going to post the other video, which is the dice game. And then what I'm going to do is in each video, I'm going to make a pinned comment in the bottom of, you want the game board to this game, watch this video, or to learn how to take this game board off, right? Okay, so you got to watch that video, and then I'll put, and I'll put also the link to the Google Drive in there, and then that'll also be in the description box, so that you can print them out beforehand, and so that when say like the Wipeout game comes up or it gets posted, you have the game board all done, ready to go, and then you can follow along with me with the game board and all that. So, and I explain all of that in the dice game, the video about the game boards and all that kind of stuff, and what I made and how I made them. And I did it like, because I hooked up my PC to my TV, my 60-inch Vizio TV, and you see everything. So, and I did it so you can blow it up, and I showed you everything, how to take them off, how to laminate, all this kind of stuff. And so and then after that, I'll show you where the game boards are. Then it'll be like once a week or what have you, so people look forward to something and all that kind of stuff in the series. So, that's what we're going to be doing for the channel very soon, and all that. And I'm going to do like a little like intro in the beginning of the videos to tell you that there is a game board that I've made to this game. The games that have game boards. Watch the video. There's a video that I made on this channel that explains how to get the game boards. And I'm going to leave it as a pinned comment. And I'm also going to leave it in the description box. So watch that video. And you can, if you watch that beforehand and you print out the game boards, you'll know where everything is, kind of thing. Or you'll at least have the game boards, and then when you want to watch the film or the video, you'll have the game boards done and ready. They're very good to take with you, especially like if you go and rent a beach house for the week and it starts to rain and you need something to do. Yeah, that's kind of like what these are. Playing with a bestie, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing here on the channel very soon. If you saw my last video, which was Bunny with a Big Heart, that was the story we read for Easter. That was your little post for your Easter baskets. So there you go. So now we're going to get on to family. So my mom, if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I've been talking about, we had PT, which is physical therapy, OT, occupational therapy, come to the house. We really helped my mom get in a wheelchair. She used to be able to, now she's so stiff she can't get in one. So once she can do her exercises really good, big and strong, then they'll come back and they'll tell her what else to do. So right now we're on a hiatus break from those guys. We had a nurse come in. His name was Dove. And he was a nice Jewish man. And, he was a very nice guy. He would come in, take vitals. My mom was going through a little bit of a bladder infection, which I've been detailing over on my Instagram, and we had to have several urine samples to make sure that the infection's cleared, because the first one she had this recently, I don't think that the germs were killed. And so I think it was still there. It's still lingering. And then, we checked it. It was bacterial. So my mom has very bad overactive bladder. And so she's peeing whenever, kind of thing. You get to see my grotesque hair. That just helps keep my little hairs in place and all that. And after that, once we figured out it was bacterial, she was given antibiotics. The infection is now cleared, but I don't think it's still all the way, but that's just me. But at least my mom's getting on the mend and that kind of stuff. Knees still really hurt her. Like I said, your knees are like this, hers are like this, and you're wondering how she's still walking, talking, and standing. My mom's had her blood checked for, I know her thyroid's up a little bit because she has that was it overactive thyroid where you can very easily put on weight, but it's hard to take it off. So they adjusted her thyroid, or my mom's doctor, who is also my doctor, adjusted her thyroid medication for that. Because those levels can go up and down and all that kind of stuff. So you have to be on top of that kind of stuff. My mom's cancer. My mom has multiple myeloma, which is a treatable form of bone marrow cancer in her, bone marrow. It is, I think it's 1.5. It's still, it could be 1.6 now, but I think it's still 1.5. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It's not if she'll need more chemo, it's when she'll need more chemo. It's slowly creeping up, but not to levels where, oh, you need chemo now, you need chemo now. We have to have our antennae up and just keep watching my mom and all this kind of stuff. So it could come roaring back at some point. Sometimes it just stays where it is. It doesn't go up anywhere. Other times it might go up another point. So we're just keeping an eye on her and just, she doesn't need chemo yet. Like I said, it's not if she'll need more chemo, it's when she'll need more chemo. So she was at stage 1 when she had it, and it's still at stage 1. So they've pretty much controlled it. I know she had to have shots of chemo and all this kind of stuff. Didn't make her lose her hair. She already has a bald, like a little bit of a bald spot in the middle of her hair. And it caused her to have slight thinning when she was on the chemo. But her hair's, it's slowly coming back. I mean, it's been back, but you know what I mean. She wasn't losing as much hair as she was when she was having the chemo kind of thing. And she had to miss because of how my mom could. We got her in the wheelchair. This is my cousin Adam. It's a wedding, her nephew's wedding. Now, Adam's dad. Now, Adam is my first cousin. I'm going to tell you how we're first cousins, okay? So bear with me. Adam's dad, my Uncle Johnny, who's not only my uncle but my godfather. My mom, Joyce, my mom's name's Joyce, and him are brother and sister. So there's your first cousin connection right there. So this is one of my Uncle Johnny's kids. He got married to a lovely, lovely girl named Morgan on May the 2nd. And they're going to go on their honeymoon very soon. They're going to do a trip up Boston, Cape Cod, that area. And he said he's going to visit as many Triple D places as he could with her. I think he's doing a week, 2 weeks, something like that. They both got new jobs and they can't take off too much. But because they're newlyweds, their place of employment, this is, okay, you can have your little honeymoon. Just make sure you come back and all this kind of stuff. Because when you're new, they don't allow you to take off as much. A lot of times new places are like that when you get hired. So, and she had a very lovely, lovely wedding. The wedding was great. So my mom gets in the car. Well, she gets ready. We put her in the wheelchair. We get her out of the house, down the little ramps here that we have. We try to get her in the van, and she couldn't get in the van because of how bad her knees were. And we were trying to walk up because my cousin Adam really wanted his auntie there. That's one of her favorite nephews, and he really helps out. Like when my dad has a hard time because of his issues and all that kind of stuff. So, they're there to help us whenever we need strapping young lads. And sometimes my cousin Adam or his brother Andrew will come out and help us. So, and all this kind of stuff. And, was really looking forward to his aunt being there and everything. And she had to call him and said, look, I can't come. I can't get in the van. And he was kind of like, about it because he really wanted his auntie there. But he kind of understood. We were able to get her a plate of food from the food that they had served there. The wedding was absolutely, absolutely lovely. Just beaming bride and groom, merging of families. I can't, the bride's name is Morgan, and I love her as my very new cousin. I have a new cousin. Because what, you know, how they go to the end of the aisle and they greet people as they come by. And I was like, Adam, because I call him Adam for short. His brother Andreas for short. You know, it's term of endearment, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, Adam, what's up, my man? Like, congrats, boy. He's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I go, Morgan, yay, my new cousin. And we're giving hugs. And you know, she just looked radiant. And she said, they were on this date for like 5, 6 hours or something. And she goes home to mom and she goes, if I don't marry this man, she says, something's going to be wrong with me, mom. She just knew, you know how when you know, you just know. When you meet somebody, you know kind of thing. And that's what this was. So, uh, she makes a lovely addition to the fam. She did, just like Andrew's wife now, Alyssa, did. So, yeah. So they're both wonderful, wonderful people that have joined the fam. Sometimes Morgan will come out with Adam and help my mom with something if she needs, you know, really help with something. So, yeah. So my mom, she's, you know, well, we moved her downstairs now. If you didn't know, we made a boudoir downstairs. We got a bed. My mom's lying on it as we speak. And we moved like all her stuff downstairs. And so that's where, so she's encamped out on that bed. And we got a mattress topper. And when we were trying to get her like downstairs, we actually had to call the EMS because we had a hard time getting her downstairs. All the ambulance people. I mean, literally, like just ugh. And then she fell off the bed, and then we had to call them back again to help her get up. Turns out this mattress pad that we got from My Pillow. I know people aren't too thrilled with My Pillow, but my dad ordered it. I didn't order it, so because we have a couple of My Pillows that they like. But we all know how that guy is just like, I know he's controversial with things, but I know people are going to say, why are you giving that money to that man? I'm like, I didn't order it, my mom and dad did. So there you go. And it turns out the mattress pad, the mattress topper that they bought, which was almost like $100 or so, 100 some dollars, I don't know how much it cost. She wasn't sitting correctly on it, or it was causing her to slide down, all this kind of stuff. And so when we took it off, much better. So my mom's been camped out downstairs now. I'm not too thrilled, but it is what it is. I've talked about it on my Instagram, so. And my dad's been downstairs with her. So basically, our bedroom up here, my mom and dad's bed, and over there, it's no longer existent, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. So yeah, so mom's doing okay besides the pain that she's having with her knees and all that. Like she'll do all these exercises and her knees will just hurt her, but we know that this is helping her knees get stronger and better and all this kind of stuff. Like I said, your knees are like this, hers are like this, and you're wondering how she's still walking, talking, and standing. And my mom's been having this earache that just won't go away. It's wet in the ear and all that kind of stuff. And she can't, and when she's able, because now we have to get access, which is, it's like a bus service for like senior citizens who can't get out or who used to be able to drive, now can't drive. So, you have cane, you have walkers, wheelchair people because they make a wheelchair bus. So because my dad's going to go with her to the doctor's appointments. And once we're able to get her in the wheelchair and get her in the access bus, it's called access around here. You might have it somewhere else where you live at, but my mom knows it from when she was doing here with the little ladies that come in on access. She knows a little something about the company and how they kind of operate somewhat. But she was given all this packet of papers about what they do, what they don't do, what you have to do, what you can and cannot do, So we sent in the application form to them. Now we just got to wait for them to say, hey, okay, we'll accept you now. This is how you call us, and And then she's able to get to the doctors and have her ear looked at and all this kind of stuff. Because she wants to be able to get to the doctors because she's been having virtual visits with doctors, and it's like, well, we need to be able to see you, all this kind of stuff. So, anyway. So there's my mom. like I said, she's doing wonderful. She loves watching Netflix because we have Netflix on the TV. So, and it's like, I want to sit there and watch all this stuff, and it's just like, whatever. But anyway, I know we were watching an Office movie with J-Lo in it. Yeah, that just came out. Watch that verdict from the Michael Jackson thing. Little things fishy here and there. I don't believe he did anything. I think Simone went moolah, but that was just me about it. That's just how I thought about it. But anyway. So now on to my dad. My dad recently just had, he went to his bladder doctor. Now, his original bladder guy, like, retired from being a doctor. So now he went to somebody, he's going to somebody new who took over. I don't know. Like a nurse practitioner that he saw. Nothing's really wrong with his bladder because he has bladder issues a little bit. Like, he retains urine a little bit. We thought maybe he was retaining again, or he had another infection, all that kind of stuff. Because it was November of last year when he went to the hospital, and thought he almost had a mini stroke, but no, he didn't. So, and everything. Uh, it's just a false alarm on every account. It could have been serious. It wasn't. It was. It wasn't that serious, but it was serious to where we need to keep you in the hospital for a little bit. So, uh, like about a week or so, and his one of his carotid was almost blocked 80%, and that almost could have caused, But he's fine now. He's, you know, I know he has to go see his doctor Rudy. I think it was sometime this week. I know he had his A1C test again that he had, but he's fine with the bladder department. They're thinking it's more his diabetes that's causing him to pee every 2 hours, kind of thing. So he has to go back to the endocrinologist very soon because they're helping him control his blood sugar. As you get older, some people's blood sugar doesn't get controlled very well, that kind of stuff, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so dad's doing okay. He's still a little wobbly when he gets up, kind of thing. But he can still drive, so he drives me places. So if I have to go shopping for mommy, I will. Because we were having meatball subs for dinner. And it wasn't, I think it was Sunday, yeah. I went to go grab some groceries, but they didn't have any like homemade hoagie rolls from the bakery. So when my dad was getting his blood test on Monday, I had to go to John Eagle to get a script because I was refilling something of mine, my diabetic test strips. And I was getting those from the pharmacy. And while I was there, I got homemade hoagie rolls, sausage rolls. And so that's what we had, meatball subs for dinner. So, melty cheese. But I liked olives and jalapenos on them. So, yeah. And then melty cheese and just sauce. And messy but good kind of thing. And yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. Um, just so that's basically what's up with mkgtweety and basically everything that's going on with me and the fam. Um, and I'll make an announcement when all those game videos are gonna come out and all this kind of stuff. So just bear with me while I get them up and going and all this kind of stuff. Um, I No, I think that's about it. So we're going to end the video here, Digital Peeps. If you've been with me this long and put up with my rambling, I thank you very much. I'm going to go now, Digital Peeps. I'll smell you later. If you want more like up-to-date stuff, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is at mkgtweety. All my socials linked in the description box below. Like I said, if you like what you see and what I do, you can hit the subscribe button. If you really, 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 really like it, you can hit the thumbs up button, all this kind of stuff. I'm very nice and very friendly on here. I say, as long as you're nice, don't say anything too political, they can't kick you off. So, I'll smell you later, digital peeps. Bye, lemon lippy. Bye. Bye, digital peeps.